Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. What a pleasant way. We love to welcome you to another brand new edition of the program From the Top of the Mountain. It is an hour-long presentation here on Nima Dina Television and Liberia Public Radio. This program is at about this time. We discuss issues of national concern, especially issues that are very much pertinent to the growth and development of our country, Mama Liberia. We discuss already on From the Top of the Mountain. Well, my name is Mark Dan. Today's presentation promises to be very much fantastic. My guest today is Madam Laura B. Kipo. She is the Executive Director of the Chief Executive Officer of the group, Women Empowerment Forum. The group has since embarked on the creation of awareness on the war crimes code in Liberia. Recently, the group was subgranted by the Liberia NGO Secretariat of Liberia, Wangoso for short, to create awareness on the creation of war crimes code in Liberia, specifically in the county of Nimba. Well, it's a pleasure this hour to have with you, Madam Laura Kipo. Welcome. How are things been?
I want to say thank you for giving us the opportunity to be here today. We see it as a privilege. And so far so good. We think everything is on course with our advocacy plan.
So, how is women empowerment activities? Tell us a little bit about women empowerment before we go to your project, the project that you recently embarked on.
Women Empowerment Forum is a women-led organization that has been working for over 4 years now. Specifically, we have been in Lima, Bon, and Grand Bassa counties. All of girls, we call the project Rural Girls Educational Project. We actually advocate for rural girls' education and their well-being. We also seek to find means to end all violence, all forms of violence against women and girls. So on our program, the Rural Girls Educational Program, that is in Lima, that is in Bon, that is in Grand Bassa County, we have selected 100 girls. These 100 girls, we have a program where we support their educational sojourn. We encourage them because we notice that based on findings in the rural community, only 40% of the girls complete high school. Most times they drop from school for a lot of reasons. Sometimes funding, sometimes pregnancy, maybe they farm work, or they become breadwinner for the family, how to go look for a job to be able to help their family based on the location they are in. But because we saw the need for the raw girls to go to school, we thought it wise to organize that program that has been self-sponsored with the help of other few people, especially the districts we work in. The people that are there, they sometimes help us. And I would say today, Nima County has been one of our strongholds, because the district we're working District 9 in Nima County, the representative there is a strong support of our program, and other citizens that live abroad and even in Liberia, they support that program. Then in the other counties, we also found support, but it's not strong as Nima County. They may be very friendly with it. Like for a grandmaster, we really find it difficult to pay the children's school fees. Sometimes we got to pinch from the other county children own money before we can put it to the other side. So, but it has been difficult, it has been challenging. But by the grace of God, for the years now we've been doing it, they have been going to school. So, as we are on this radio, we are also soliciting support for our girls. We got the girls, the 100 girls. We need to pay their school fees. We need to buy their copy books. We need to buy their uniform, their shoes. So every year, I'm appealing to the public to support our rural girls educational program. We honor the 100 girls, we call it the 100 girls school. 100 girls go in need 100 rural girls that go to school to be educated, to bring back to their community. And when the community lift these girls by educating them, they too will in turn bless the community whatsoever they will learn, and we will all have a sustainable future. So,
what are some of the programs that you run? Apart from education, what is women empowerment also involved with in terms of activities?
Okay, under that program, we have two major activities that we usually do every time we have awareness. One is the political participation, women political participation. We believe at Women Empowerment Forum that if you want the Liberian women to be a part of leadership, you got to start from a younger age. When it's embedded in them, they grow up with it. Another one we do is the menstrual hygiene. Having access to the knowledge and the materials that are associated with menstrual hygiene is our basic human right. So because we believe that, every time, let's say every year, World Menstrual Hygiene Day, we organize a big event where we distribute sanitary pads. And even when we're having awarenesses, even under this program that we are having the work around code, each time we have awareness, we'll do menstrual hygiene and pad distribution.
Okay. So how has it been? How has it been going so far since you started the whole initiative, especially interacting with girls who are from within the rural parts of the country, and sometimes it is difficult. Most of them, they are not educated, like you said it from the initial stage. I mean, how are they coping with such initiative or idea that something, especially some of them, the rural girls, they are sometimes shy to just talk about, they are shy to talk about certain things.
You know, the reason they are shy is the stigma, the taboo that is associated with menstrual hygiene. If we acknowledge them that they have the right to say what they want to say, because if you tell a girl you cannot discuss menstrual hygiene with your father, in case the mother die, who will be there to talk with the girl child about menstrual hygiene? You allow your child to go and hear from maybe a third party, and that third party may not be giving the right information. So we want to go big on the menstrual hygiene thing. Recently, there's a group in America, they call them Day for Girls, the DFG. The DFG, they have a program where you have to do a course on women health. And I was fortunate to do that course. I obtained a certificate. After the certificate, they blessed me with a consignment of menstrual kit that we do distribution with. So now that particular goods or items will be arriving in Liberia soon, which we will use to distribute to the rural girls. And under this training, there's a M&E program there where we will track whether we're making impact with the lives of the rural girls. So because I have that knowledge, I would say for now we are still working on it to incorporate the girls fully, because we all know our African setting for a woman to sit down among men to talk about menstruation and be taboo. So to work with the rural girls, it's kind of challenging, but it's rewarding. We're getting there little by little.
Okay, if you just joined us, you're watching Nima Dina television in Liberia, Summer Cast on Liberia Public Radio as well. It's a program that talks about issue of national concern from the top of the mountain. Today we have with us as our special studio discussing Madam Laura B. Kiko. She's our guest talking about issue that has to do with the society, especially women's health, and also some societal ills. So she's still here. But let's go back to Madam Kiko. Recently you embarked on a project. This project, like I said from the intro of this program, is about creating awareness about the establishment of a war crimes code in Liberia. Liberia, the Liberian Civil War, even though it has ended some 17 to 18 years ago, but the scars left behind by the Civil War is so deep to the extent that many have been calling for the establishment of war crimes code in order to end impunity, so that perpetrators can be prosecuted, so that some of them who are getting aged cannot die with impunity. So just tell us about this project, what this project is actually seeking to do, what new thing?
This project is, let's say, we have three focuses. One is acknowledging the people about the TRC recommendation, creating awareness on that entire recommendation. You know, politicians have made a whole TRC report to many people. I would say people in the sense that they tell people, oh, as soon as you go and interview somebody, say, oh, what is TRC? They say, oh, that work crime code me, can make everybody to you. So because of that, the people do not have the knowledge on the entire TRC report. But the TRC report has a lot of impact. And before I go to that explanation, I would like to make a point that a friend of mine called Pape Kamara enlightened me with. He said, Laura, those days when the people used to go fight war, he said they will go to a place where there's no woman, no child, nobody will be there. They will draw the battle line. The other group will be so, the other group will be so. And in that fighting, they have rules that they have to follow. These rules are, you're not supposed to kill women and children. You're not supposed to kill somebody. Let's say we're fighting and the person surrounded. You're not supposed to kill that person. But the Liberian war will not let that. War is allowed to be fought. But war has rules. And we must follow the rules. And if you do not follow rules, what the next thing, if you do not follow rules, you become punished. I was reading my granddaughter note. He said about rules. If you do, rules are meant to be obeyed. She in the first grade was teaching her about rules, rules and laws. They said rules are meant to be obeyed. If you don't meet up with these rules, that is, if you don't follow the rules, it means you have contradicted the whole thing, and there's a punishment that follow it. So Liberia had this war. The international community, they came up with rules. They say if anybody want to fight war, you got to follow these rules. Liberia said no, we are not going to follow the rule. We'll kill women and children. We'll kill people that surround to us. We will kill president and put it on the video and show it out. We will even eat human being. We follow all. We will rape women. We will kill the women husbands. We will make the children orphans. And they did a lot of things. And after they did these things, they said, oh, we have fought war and the war don't want to end. So let us reconcile. They went to Accra. They formed the Accra Peace Agreement. Under the peace agreement, say we should disarm the ex-combatants and reward them with compensations. After that, we gave them training. They did all that. It was left for the reconciliation part. So they decided to establish this reconciliation because they do not want to do the tribunal like our neighbor Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone went to court, they went to the World Crown Court, which our president is now in jail because of Sierra Leone. Liberia said, no, we want to reconcile. But before we reconcile, we want to call people and find out what all happened there. So they formed the TRC, where 4 men and 3 women were commissioners on this TRC commission. So they call people that were involved in the war. They call victims and perpetrators to give testimonies and doing the TRC hearings. So after everything, they came out with their recommendations. And this recommendation has not been preached. The only thing we hear is the third part of the recommendation, which talk about the World Crown Court. The first part talk about the reparation, forming Memorial Day, and all other things, burying our dead and remembering them, building monuments where we will remember our dead and our presidents that died during the war. And it also talk about the Palava Hut approach, where there's a dispute between neighborhoods or communities. You meet to the Palava where traditional leaders will settle the issues. But we have not heard whether they have done that. I might be wrong in my statement. The third part is what we preach for. We preach for all because we got to inform the Liberian people about what the TRC recommendations say. One of the part they talk about giving women empowerment. There's a 500 million that's supposed to be allocated by the government to give to women and children over the period of 30 years. Over this period of 30 years, every Liberian that were victims of this war, or let's say that are survivors now because the victims all go, the survivors that there now, some of the victims still living because supposed still live with the scar that happened, that the things that happened because there were women that were raped and other things happened, supposed still living. So what can we do? Let us give them 500 million that will open free school, health centers, empower women, give them life skills and other things. We don't know whether these things happen. The Palava approach we know. But this TRC talks about the World Crown Court. Like from the beginning of my statement, I talk about the rules of law.
Okay.
The rules of war. So in war, there are rules. If they don't follow those rules, you can be punished.
But people are saying that war in itself is not even so good. People talk about having specific rules to fight it. Well, if you just join us, you're watching From the Top of the Mountain. It's a television program. It's an hour-long program, sorry, that talk about issue of national concern. Today, our guest is Madam Laura Kipo. She is the executive director or the chief executive officer of Women Empowerment. We're going to be taking a break. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, we continue with the discussion for the next 15 minutes.
Non crazy selling cao ma son da ma son ke o ma son ye me ke ma son ke o ma son da ye ma son ke o ma son ye da ma son ke o ma son ye lu son ka o ma son da rabato da ko ba yi son ke e da si no ba yi son ke des le drama mi ga son ke ne ka se ne bo ka do ka son ke. ke bopia ba ke ma gire do mo ame ke wan pene o ke aje ba wa izonda ake ka won de gbako idere lika bo won ake adaba ke o zia sia adaba sio pe ano deba kun o wa were yo de you are da pa da ba bia o da pa yo da pa se edo
Welcome back to From the Top of the Mountain. After that short break, we are back with the continuation of the program. Yeah, man, people, you were in speech when we went for the break. So you were talking about the war crimes code and so forth.
Okay, I was talking about the rules of law.
Yeah.
I mean, of war. War have rules, and if we do not follow those rules, then we commit crime against humanity. When a crime is committed against humanity, then that one is over the recommendation approach.
Okay.
So you have to go to court to be able to tell us why you did these things. And under the TRRC report, they talk about expressing remorse.
Okay.
They say that if you committed a crime and you express that you're sorry for what you did, you go to the Palava court and express that, oh, I did these things, but I'm sorry for what I did. There's a means there where you can be forgiven. But wherein you committed huge atrocity, these are the people that have been allocated, let's say, put together to go to the World Crime Court. Under this program, we are soliciting signature from people that live in Nima.
Okay. So one may ask and say, why Nimba? Because why you chose Nimba, your organization? Yes, even though your organization has in time past worked in Nimba, but specifically as it relates to the War Crimes Code, why Nimba?
Women Empowerment Forum, let's say, under the program,
okay,
this project is in 5 counties.
Right.
It's in Monserrado. 2 CSO will be working in Monserrado. One is in Bon County, one is in Lofa County, Boni, Grand Bassa, and Nima County. Our organization is the one that is working in Nima County. We selected Nima because we work in Nima, and Nima happened to be the place where I can say the birth of the entire war took place.
Okay.
So working there, I think it's a challenge. Like we did our first community engagement where we went to Sanikoli, we went to Ganta over the weekend last week. We went to these places. First we had to meet with the superintendent. It was a challenge because of what I cannot really say it, but it was challenging because most of the people there, let's say the community dwellers, they are afraid of certain politicians to be able to speak out. It was difficult. So working in Sanibody is a serious issue. But when we went to Ganta, it was a complete opposite.
Okay.
It was like I was working in Monrovia.
Are they paying loyalty to some of the politicians who, quote unquote, they might have been
the perpetrators
of the war? Because sometimes the fear for being repressed or being suppressed somehow, quote unquote, they are political godfather or somebody who they believe did something in their favor. Don't you think so?
That one I think and believe, because to get people to sign even the community entry letters. There are letters because on our project we have targets to be able to inform stakeholders about our program. And when you are informed, we have to do something like when you sign our law. To get people to sign our law, it was difficult because they saw it like signing a petition. Yeah. He said, hey, you see, we got welcome put on it and I'm signing it. There are particular people I will not sign it. We cannot be persuade them to sign the people. So it was difficult. But Ganta, like I said, it was like our emo feel. Ganta is a different place. The people have an open mind there. They were all willing. They even asked me to carry more petition letters. Stakeholders were willing. People to sign petitions were willing. In District 9, we have our county coordinator there. He has gone to District 9. He even calling for more petition people. Yeah. But
he said that that part of Nima, they are somehow
I really don't know.
Overcome with the issue of war crimes code, because people feel that going after war criminals, and you are waking up the wounds, you're making the wounds to be fresh, the wounds on the minds of the people. Some of them, people were killed in a massacre form. They were brutally murdered somehow, and they see those things as a digging of the old wounds.
You see, Mark, I always say this thing. Even before this project, I always talk about SGBV, which is sexual gender-based violence. And I say this thing, and I will continue to advocate it, I will continue to say it. Do you know why crimes like ritualistic killing, men killing their wives, killing children, killing is high in Nima and Bon County? Do you know why? It's because of the war. These people that kill people has not been brought to book. They have not prosecuted these people. So they have the mindset of willingly killing people. Number 2, to this point, these perpetrators, they only increase their crimes. And there are victims in this community that live with this scar in them. Victims are likely, 100% likely to become perpetrators if they are not counseled or if they commit a crime to be prosecuted. So it's important to give everybody justice. When I see that you did something to me and you come, you say, oh, I'm sorry, it's easy to forgive you. But when you defend with no remorse, I will keep it in my heart and try to harm you in any way I can find. That's how life is. So for Liberia to become free, to become totally free, why would I be here in the place? The other person came here, wherefore? That meant maybe you were fighting war before. And he still have the mentality of killing people and nothing coming out of it. So he will kill anybody. The other day I heard in Nima that somebody killed for snail. What is snail? That you're going to kill him? Because my mindset is killing is free. When I kill anybody, nothing can come from inside me. So I will always want to kill. But if I see that when I kill, they will carry me to jail.
Most of those that participated in the 14 years civil crisis, some of them, the NCDD process came with disarm and they were rehabilitated somehow. Don't you think that process also helped to de-traumatize the minds of those people? Can we say the rate at which people are still traumatized and the war mentality is still there, the rate at which, I mean, after the NCDD process was implemented, don't you think they are being de-traumatized?
I do not believe so. You know, during that time, I had a computer school where we won a portion of that project. And most of the people that were coming under that DDR program were not ex-combatants. That whole DDR thing was manipulated some kind of way. Most of the people were not ex-combatant, man. So the main perpetrators still in the community, they rehabilitated different people because people saw it as opportunity to gain education.
Okay.
So I believe the perpetrators are still in the communities. And they are the ones that stay there, raping 2-year-old, killing 3-year-old, cutting people here, doing all kinds of terrible things in the community. And one of the issues, because I work in Nima, under the spotlight program, we assign in zone 5. Zone 5 happens to be Tapeta and Yahweh's not range. When there's a crime in that community, maybe a boy go and rape one girl. To take that boy from Sunny Cody, which is the perpetrator, I mean to take him from Tapeta or Yahweh's not error, to bring him to Sunny Cody is not an easy process. Most of the time, the perpetrator remain in the community. Number 2.28, the family people will come, oh, my people are begging, let's go talk it to the horse. Well, you know, they go talk it to the horse. The cases don't go far. Most of the cases are not reported. There's no funding for us CSO. When they're in their car. So how do I transport perpetrator? Most of the perpetrator remain in the community and commit new crimes. Sometimes they even attack us. It's all you talk about. There was a case in Zigepa. The guy, he and a girl on him. I showed that guy so he's combating. He and a girl going out, but he left his family exactly here. And went to get back to be with that girl. I think he suspected that the girl was, oh, somebody. That guy.
And he was stealing from somebody.
He took him, oh, the thing about it to that girl. Wanted to enter the girl private power here and bring everything down from her body. We intercepted her keys.
So gruesome.
We intercepted her keys. To get that ball to come to Sanibody was not easy. It's difficult when it comes to finances. It's difficult because of the community. It's not easy to work with the cases that we have. Most of the people remain in the community. When we start to judge those little cases of rape and domestic violence, you will see most of these things will reduce. But most of the cases remain in the community. That's the reason the cases increase. Because there's no justice. So the cases will always increase.
Okay, time is not our friend, but let's go back to the project. So how long will such consultation continue to go on? They said that after signing the petition, what next going to happen?
After signing this petition, we are going to all the counties by right. All the petitions supposed to be 500,000. Okay. With this document, we are going to present it to the 3 branches of government. Okay. Meaning, we are going to give it to the executive that they will be able to push that the House pass it into a law that the Liberian people want the war crime code to be established. So this is what we're going to do.
It's very easy to just convince the executive, knowing that most of those who are working with the current administration, some of them they have been supported by those who perpetrated war in the past.
I would say it's easy because these petitions is like the voice of the Liberian people. The Liberian people were the one that elected them. So that's the reason why we're making sure to tell people the reason why you should sign this petition. We'll be asking for your number, we'll be asking for this. So it will be something concrete from the heart of the Liberian people. So if they see that the government is not pushing this particular agenda, they have their own voice to speak louder.
It means so, you're going to take a different approach.
Yes, but by then.
Okay, time is now, my friend. What could be your parting comment?
I would say to the people of Lima County, please come up, sign our petition that your daughters, your children will have peace in the community. If the people in the community still raping your daughter, it's because they have not been prosecuted for the crimes they commit. So allow these petitions to be signed by you, that you will indeed get justice for your family members. Thank you so much, man.
Okay, thank you so much. That's how we love to wind down things here from the top of the mountain. We've been speaking with the Executive Director of Women Empowerment, man, Laura Kipo. She has been our guest here. Her group has embarked on awareness creation about the war and economic crimes code in Liberia, and of course they are working in Nimba She been talking about how her group is working along with the local communities to ensure that the war crimes code is established in Liberia. The civil war in Liberia killed more than 250,000 people, according to statistics. And then, after the 2009 TRC recommendation was put in place, there were 47 recommendations, then over 200 sub-recommendations.
Yes.
More than 30% was recommended to be banned not to hold any public positions in Liberia. Madam, I want to say thank you for coming to for this interview. Join us next time for a brand new edition of the program From the Top of the Mountain. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
give people happen for so many. You can get people happen.
What is sleeping down here for?
I'm hungry.
When people hungry, the apples will people pick. For what? When flour pie is free, they grab it.
The 1,000 they paid, that's not like you be hungry. They pay 1,000 yesterday.
The 1,000 are in my pocket. They lost. See where they go. Where no, I don't know here.
They lost. 1,000 they gave you, you put in your pocket, you run and go, they lost. They lost.
They lost. I can't find it. I know that you studio or watching, and I check all inside that room. From the room to the door. And I check you in your transit pocket and up. I can't find the money.
I see. I can always find 20, take in my pocket for your daily money. I'm going to check my pocket, 15 rand back as you see.
That poverty I'll be looking for to go be checking in your pocket. To take money from your pocket.
Take it, where you put it?
Never gonna make a no now.
Yes?
If la pure will be la pure for us. I reckon I'm fine. I know whether you moon or you are grown new son as well be shining. Hello. Sometimes I can be wondering whether I can be dreaming or the whole sun can be shining in my eyeball or yeah.
Never gonna make a no now.
They get looking at love your new money. I don't know whether they get value or not. I'm supposed to be telling somebody he love what they are loved and I just mean they get.
I come at the border. I spent 11 months in my man's tummy. Directly. And I love you.
The thing they call love. I know people can get talking in their mouth. But you come from my hand, no. And I've been to my tummy already. Yeah, I'll be better than I've been to the anyway.
You mean you get married for my love?
Hey, he must be yet kind of from me, Nana, eh? I'll just put them on my hip and put them.
The one asking here. I ain't probably home.
They rolled in from Gata to Canada. Hey, I already picked. I think you're yellow machine. I'm not going here to provide. I think they got yellow machine. You look like you would know anything. See what I can do over here or do what I want. You know what I mean?
Fuck you. I come to sell you for my eating. If $500, she asked me to pay for the money. And I get more money. The free you give me that money.
Yeah? You just say, simple, and net me 1,000. I already got 1,000 in my pocket. The 1,000 free say, and then you get perks in it. So they buy when you're okay with you.
That kind of angel. Why looking there at bottom? Why looking there at fire? When it comes to the evening hour, they say, Kasabi. How?
Hey, baby.
Never gonna make a no now.
She looking at it. One poster, they get cooking the same today, but see for you enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. The whole thing about life, eh? Now about me and woman business. Man and woman, you and myself.
Never gonna make a no now.
I can't stay in the council discussing
That one? And I'm loud.
And I tell all yeah, count on in my chest. Oh, I say count on in my chest.
Never gonna make a no now.
What a wait for it, you know.
You know, say, what I thought I was out to be talking the press.
Talking what kind of bread? What the bread where they coming from?
We conclude here. And not ending me.
Count on in my chest.
You eat all that thing and you don't want me one day now.
What things I want to talk?
But found they gave me found.
They're coming from my pocket.
Never gonna make a no now.
Only found when you get here. They ain't talking say found when you get that.
Found, I get that with your son. I
No, baby, you can't get outside. You can't get outside. Come on, you can't get outside. I'm hungry. I saw all equal. So let me get you 300. I'm begging you. I'm begging you.
Never gonna make a no now.
Money now. Money, wow. What's up?
Yeah, the money. Yeah, the money. Yeah, the money. Yeah. The money there. Where you go? Boy, you give me small thing. Oh, farm money. You give me small thing. I beg you, baby. I beg you, baby. Hey, no.
Never gonna make a no now.
Time for you, pal. That's small time for you. What is that? Hey, Blanio.
Never gonna make a no now.
They are no.
Sibo. So you want me to die in a horse so you can no say another. You in a horse say I won't create the money and tell you I'm hungry. You don't know what you know to go.
I bring a young girl in a horse today. And I tell you, Alice.
See, he gave 500 to that girl. I'm going to 500.